2 goes down low. The 79 gets caught up in it just at the very end. The 67 though of Nathan Stanley makes it on through free and clear. He, Paul Verdiani, and Larry Dickerson having a drag race down to the for one last attack, getting underneath him, not quite able to make it stick, having to lift once again. Oh, into exit of turn number 4, down onto the front straightaway here. Who's going to win it with the drag race? It's going to be Timothy Pope. First 3 and 4, 751 with a hefty lead here, about a half a car length as the one gets up into the wall with a run down. 200 feet. It's going to be a close one across the line. Garrett Welsh made it 3 wide on the far outside lane, picking up spots left and right here as everybody fighting for every single spot we go. Coming across the line, white flag. So here we go, final lap. Hello and welcome into some Sunday night racing action here as the Numb Thumbs Racing League Super Speedway Series kicks on off for the first time this season here tonight. Are we going to see a multiple season champion, or is someone new going to steal that belt? Well, we got a few weeks to go before we find that one on out. But first, let's get things all started here tonight from Daytona, locked in with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And welcome back. As always, we got to get started here by saying a huge thank you to all the proud sponsors here of the NTRL, such as Davidson Builders up there in that northern New Jersey area. Be sure to go and give them a shout out for your next building project. Davidson Builders, go check them on out. Big thank you for them sponsoring your title sponsor here for the NTRL Super Speedway. Big thank you again as well to DEP Graphics, some phenomenal paint schemes coming out of that garage every single day. Be sure to head on down and pick yourself up a customized paint here. Sim Gear Central as well. Big thank you to them. Some fantastic button boxes to help you in your sim racing or sim flying or sim farming or sim trucking or sim anything needs. Be sure to head on over to Sim Gear Central to pick up a fancy button box here today. Big thank you as well to Track Bar Media. Some great photo and video edits of real life and Sim Life race and photography and video stuff. So be sure to head on over there to go check them on out and give them some support. I think they've got a little bit of merch going on as well. So be sure to go and check out Track Bar Media. And of course, big thank you to Beadles Custom Car Carriers. If you're into the whole model trucks and cars and all that kind of stuff, well, you pick yourself up a car carrier to store all those model cars on. And not only that, but if you're a driver, a truck driver that tends to haul the automotive stuff, he can take photos from your real life truck and put them all down into that little model there itself. So fantastic work coming from Beadles Custom Car Carriers. Big thank you to them for sponsoring here as well. As always, I am Alan Brown, and I am joined in the March Madness with my good buddy, the brewmaster in general, Mr. Alan English, all locked in and loaded. New season here tonight, Alan, as always, starting it off with a good old Daytona run, and it should be a pretty good season, especially here for these super speedway guys.
Ought to be a good one here. We got a good car count out, or truck count in this case. Almost 30 drivers registered for tonight's racing action here at Daytona. And every time we come here, it's always, you never know what's going to happen. Daytona's an awesome track, and NTRL's an awesome league, and they've got some new recruits out there today. So this season, we got a few new drivers that we haven't seen before. This is season 3, is that right? I think it's season 3 already.
Man.
So, yeah, the Super Speedway league over there at NTRL has grown quite a bit. So looking forward to what these guys can do out here tonight, and looking forward to a great season as well.
And that should be a fantastic time. Adam Turner may or may not be joining us here tonight. He's just gotten back from a nice long weekend away, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with him. But I know if he does join us, he's going to have a fantastic time as we take a quick look here at some of these race infos of this beautiful 2.5 mile track. Nice sunny skies, no rain in the forecast whatsoever, and the temperature doesn't even look that bad on top of that. So these drivers, absolutely no issues here tonight. Bringing us down to tonight's key to the race here, Mr. English. Racing in these trucks on a super speedway, that's the way we love it, but you really got to start the season off strong no matter what car or track you're starting at.
That's right. It's all about momentum here in the NTRL Super Speedway Series, and you'd love to get a win in the first race of the season, right? Kind of set the tone for the rest of the season. But yeah, they do have a few rules here in this league. They got 3 sets of tires here tonight, 65% fuel, 18x incident count. Every 6x after that, you also get a black flag. There's no limit. There is a limit on the fast repairs. They only got 1 here tonight, so it's save it, keep it in your back pocket, and stay out of danger as much as you can. Track temp. Ambient temperature not too bad, as you mentioned there, Brown, but the track temperature is 132 degrees, so just about fry an egg out there. So hopefully these guys, it's, being in a super speedway, you're not really concerned as much about your tires, but putting a little wheel in it, you may feel a little bit of slickness out there.
Man, that just tells me I need to go get my cheaters on, because it looked like 103 when I was looking over at my side screen, so I was off by a little bit. And yeah, 130, that's quite hot. I think that's one of the hottest track temperatures I think we have ever seen at any track. That's
that's like South Texas in summer type temperatures of the track there. That's pretty high. Want to thank everybody for joining us over there in the YouTube channel as well. John Michaels out there, K-Dub out there, number 42, saying new team, new season. Let's see if we can get defend that title from last season. Good luck out there, Kevin. Daniel Pochlag out there, welcoming us back. Thank you so much. Welcome back, you as well, and your sponsorship there, DEP Race Graphics. TB and Cars out there saying this is going to be a fun race. Tower Operator, of course. Thank you so much for joining us once again, Bruce. And Alfred Charon out there saying HBR on the pole. Let's go number 11. And sorry, Daniel. I didn't know my chair was messing with you too much. I know it's got some green in it. That might be messing with the green screen thing. But looks like they're lining up here, Brown. Getting ready to grid on up.
And that indeed they are. So let's get our official first starting grid and where everyone's going to be starting here tonight up and underway. Starting us off on row number 1 on pole position, the 11 of Mr. Vincent Short. It's going to get started off here right beside the 71 of Canada's own Connor Leach up there on the front row. 6 of Caleb Sisk having a great starting spot up in third with the 42 of Kevin Winker, your defending champion, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know someone will correct me, but he's starting up there in fourth. You got the 3 of Skylar Harrod starting here tonight in 5th with the 19 of Brandon Coleman starting to his outside in 6th. 7th will go to the 89 of Gary Sack. Glad to see you again here, Gary. He's going to start here tonight in 7th with the 15 of Benjamin McKinnon starting to his outside in 8th. 9th will go to America's Driver, the 99 of Albert Anderson with the 8 of Dylan Mad Max Bryant starting to his outside. Chris Klein in the 51 starting here in 11th. 12th will go to the 23 of the Mac Daddy Mark Collins. 14th will be Mr. D. Allen Grote. Starting in 13th there. 14th, the 54 of Mr. James Lee. 15th belongs to Mr. Blaine. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read 3 different screens at once. Excuse me. 15th belongs to Anthony Williams. 16th belongs to that Blaine Wilkies. You got the one-legged wonder, Mr. DW, starting here in 17th. Josh Williams, I believe, is going to be starting here tonight in 18th. 19th, Mr. Jeff Ottinger. And rounding out your field's top 20, the double nickel, Mr. Tom Barish.
07 truck of Crystal Villano starting in 21st place. 22nd will be Scott Milner in the 31. 22 of Chuck Kiger starting in 23rd. Right beside him there, outside row number 12, Henry Wyndham in the 48. 2 of Joe David and the 78 of Christopher Jordan make up row number 13. Row number 14, Dylan Ritchie in the 26 of the 00 of Joe Bennett. Philip Ellis and Reed Sanders make up the next row, and then you got AJ Evangelista and Dave Holmberg right behind them. Tristan Cotton, Nick Tucker, and Tim Stubblefield round out your field.
And there we have it, your official starting field here tonight from Daytona. As always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching and having a beautiful time out here with us. If you haven't done so already, be sure to go hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you get alerted every single time that we go live. And of course, be sure to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the race in action. Vince, I know your truck's showing the 15 here, buddy, but in the timing, and I think whatever iRacing is saying that you're the 11, but nonetheless, we know you're in the 15. As the pace truck peels off down onto pit road, which means for the first time here this season, we are green flag racing here from Daytona. And man, oh man, look at that 6 of Caleb Sisk give a big shove to that back bumper of the 15 of Vince Short, sending that bottom lane on around. You got the 3 sitting there as well, Mr. Skylar Harrod, as there goes the 6 bumping right on up to that high side in front of the 71 of Connor Leach. He had a spot open. He's trying to maybe find his way on up there to the front here early and try to guide these drivers on around as they make their way on down to the backstretch. A good run here from that high side, 71 and the 6 working well with that 42 of Kevin Winker as the bottom line rebuilds its momentum going through turns 3 and 4 as they come out of turn number 4. It's going to be even Steven all over again as we remain side by side racing, completing lap number 1.
Yeah, good side-by-side action throughout the field. A lot of patience being shown by these drivers. We haven't seen anybody try to stick it in there 3 wide or do anything crazy just yet. They're still trying to get up to speed here. So really quick in these trucks, about 190 miles an hour on the top end.
And that you do. No one willing to quite take it 3 wide, but the alleyway to the turbo tunnel wide open As, man, that 6 machine is all over the place, bouncing from top line to bottom line, back to the top and back to the bottom he goes, jumping in front of that 15 of short as they continue to run side by side, and they're side by side at least 10 rows deep, even more, heading all the way back through the field. You have the 5 of Anthony Williams back here. I mean, he's fighting for 15th, 16th, and they're still stuck too wide as everyone tries to jockey for position.
A pretty exciting start here already for the NTRL Num Thumbs Racing League in their 3rd season. Oh, we got a wreck!
Up against the outside wall, trucks are scattering. Still green flag. Everybody pointed in the right direction, but big checkup, and we've got a whole cluster of traffic trying to rejoin the racetrack after diving down on the backstretch. Almost some contact there. Double nickel stuck in the middle, able to figure it on out. Still trying to figure things on out. Oh, 42 of Kevin Winker having some big issues. Parks it down on the infield side of the track and takes a tow. So heavy damage for that 42 of Kevin Winker.
I think he blew an engine and then just stayed up high trying to stay out of the way. I heard that that signature sound of a blown engine. And Kevin Winker moved to the outside, and I just heard him on the radio say, "Sorry, everybody, I did blow my engine." Golly, the defending champion, the first race of the new season, blows his motor. I don't see how that happens.
Only thing I can...
shift.
I was gonna say we're up to speed at this point.
Right.
I think maybe some of that ambient heat coming up off that track, maybe heating these motors up just a little bit. We did see he was, in a pretty good tag team up there, up at the front with Connor Leach while they were pushing the 6, and I mean they weren't leaving too much aero room for some cooling to happen to those radiators.
These guys are really going to have to keep an eye on those temps. Those temperature readings right there on the dashboard, they're going to have to keep one eye on it. As if they don't have enough stuff to pay attention to out there with all the traffic and the bumper-to-bumper racing out there. Now they're going to have to really pay attention to those temperatures.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. As field's kind of split almost in half here. You got the 48 of Henry Wyndham kind of pulling up the rear of the main little pack going on right around here. Doing a pretty good job. Dylan Ritchie slowly trying to crawl his way back on up there. Same thing with Philip Ellis and AJ Evangelista as they make their way back across that start-finish line. 70 laps is the total distance scheduled here for tonight. That's the minimum that we're going to go. There's a possibility that we could go into some bonus time here a little later on, but still plenty of ways to go. And yeah, kind of a bummer here for the 42 of Kevin Winker here early, but the good news is it happened here early, so there's time for him to make up for it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's probably going to be more cautions and opportunities for him to get some laps back. YouTube chat really filling up out there. Talkman T out there saying have a great season, AJ and Tristan. Alex Brockloff and John Michael Bermania both talking about how much they love the 26 and how much the 26, how much love he's shown them as well over the years, especially in high school, and how much the 26 loves turtles. That's some true love right there.
Man, you ain't kidding.
So thank y'all for joining us as well. Yeah, Talkman T, tough start. Yeah, man. That's what Kevin Winker's thinking right now in that 42. 3 wide up in the front.
Yeah, out to the far outside lane. The for a second there, at least, the 89 of Gary Sack was looking to take it 3 wide. Quickly realized no help was coming his way. I don't think anyone is quite too willing to take up that 3-line charge just yet. And he was able to find a spot back down on that bottom side and tuck back in a line behind that 71 of Connor Leach. But no, it's been good seeing the people from last season, people from other leagues that we have seen, whether it was the NTRL trucks or some of the little offshoot charity stuff that we've seen all racing here tonight. I mean, even Gary Sack, one of the first drivers. Yeah, one of the first drivers to ever be broadcasted on AAA broadcasting. As the 42 Kevin Winker's hugging up against that outside wall as the pack tries to make their way on around him. Again, Daytona, a wide track, but not as wide as Talladega. It does get a little tight there when they start going 3 wide.
No Sweat Racing out there joining us as well in the YouTube chat, pulling for the number 6 machine of Caleb Sisk. I got that right?
Yes.
It says Joshua on my screen, but I know it's wrong. That's going to bug me all night. Also, No Sweat Racing talking about the Skunkworks graphics cars looking good out there.
Yeah, which currently one of them are leading, and that's the 3 of Skylar Herod up at the front. 89 of Sack moves on down to the bottom side there, as well as here comes Sisk looking to the outside lane, seeing a little bit of an opening. The 15 going a lap down here, going to try to hug that outside wall, just as Winker did to let the field on by. Looks like pretty much everybody all grouped back up together. Looks like a little bit of a gap once when you get back to where 27th is, and Dave Holmberg, Josh Williams, Crystal Villano, Jeff Ottinger, and Tristan Cotton all trying to, well, I thought they were going to be trying to work together here, but they're kind of 2 by 2 at the moment. Everybody all locked into a little bit of a battle, but you got the 78 of Chris Jordan having a little bit of a lucky save there, able to jump back here with the rest of this main pack. He's up there in 26 right now, going side by side with the 4 Reed Sanders.
Yeah, the 12 is the 15 on scoring, I think, isn't it?
The 11 is the 15.
The 11 is the 15. Okay. So the 12 is, I don't know. I don't see a 12.
I was gonna say, dude, I don't see a 12 either.
12 just was riding around on the outside. I think it was somebody else. It might be my trading paint screw. Who knows?
That could be it too. Actually, speaking of which, I need to make sure mine's open.
Yeah, I think that might be the issue. Why you're seeing a different number than I am.
Possibly. Well, I know. Like for Vince Short, his truck was showing a 15, like he said, but I think iRacing has him as the 11 for whatever reason. Yeah, nonetheless, everyone's still moving around, bouncing around, trying to pick up whatever spots that they can.
Like another truck up by the outside wall looks like the 54 machine. Which I don't know who that is.
James Lee, yeah. 1 lap down, kind of got really big into that checkup there when we had that little incident on lap number 2. Able to slowly get back up to speed here as he's trying to ride around with the rest of the main pack here.
Early here, but all green flag laps here so far. As the guys come around, and they'll be completing lap number 13.
Yeah, they are. As finally the trading paints is all getting working its way back around.
What is it? The shift R?
Yeah.
I have to do that.
Took it a minute. As the 6 of Caleb Sisk continues to lead the charge here, laps 14 now out of 70. Having a pretty good run. Remind me quickly here, Mr. English, what's the fuel level these guys running at? Like 70% or so?
65% tonight. So these guys will have to make a couple of stops here, even though the race is only scheduled for 70 laps. There is going to be a couple of pit stops here for fuel As these guys run these green flag laps, you know the guys that are saving fuel are behind the leaders here. Of course, the leader is going to be running wide open the whole way. Something you got to think about.
And
It
that
helps to have teammates up there to kind of trade off with you now and then. We do see a lot of team cooperation in this league. Team All-Star, a huge team this year. I guess they don't have team member limits here. I think they got like an 8-man team.
Oh, goodness gracious. Man, imagine, well, it's kind of the same thing, right? Like, you got all the, Hendrick and all those teams in NASCAR,
yeah.
but then it's like, oh, but he's driving a Chevy, so I guess we're on the same team, even though I can't stand his guts, you know?
Some of those teams help each other out and share information, share parts. I mean, it's there's some mega teams out there. It's not official, but they definitely help each other out.
As we're quickly coming up, I would expect some green flag pit stops here for some of that fuel and maybe even some tires here, especially with how warm the track is here tonight. Coming on up here within definitely the next 10 laps. I got a feeling probably within the next 5 we're going to start seeing some of those pit stops happen. Let's take a quick ride around here on the rooftop camera of Mr. Chuck Kiger in the 22 as he's tucked in behind the 14 down low, 23 of Mark the 50. Paint scheme saying 54. Oh, big checkup. Oh, goodness.
Saw a couple of checkups. The 29 truck, Philip Ellis, got a little squirrely there and caused a little checkup. So the rear ends are starting to come around a little bit. I don't know if that's due to such a high track temp or there was some dirty air or something there.
It really did not look all that great, but everybody able to thankfully avoid any calamitous situations and drive on out of there. And really, nobody having too bad of a race. Everyone is still running. Looks like Tim Stubblefield was either a start and park or he's maybe doing some admin duties here tonight, making sure all these guys stay on the up and up.
I didn't catch that. He manually disconnected there, I think, before the race started there.
Huh. That's a bummer. Always loved seeing Stub Nation out there.
Well, if these guys are going to start pitting around, what do we figure, maybe lap 25-ish? They're going to have to start finding their way down to that low line. So this is where having your teammates around you can really help you in a bind. And you don't want to have to pit by yourself under green. It is pretty much impossible to do anything on your own out here. You really need to have some teammates around you or some other drivers that you can cooperate with. 3 wide in the middle of the pack here is Winkers on the outside trying to make some positions up. Contact between the 19 and the 29 there.
Hey, everybody kind of the big cluster of everybody trying to find whatever spot that they can. I think we're starting to see it. People try to get down to that bottom line. And, 42, Kevin Winker is like, man, if this thing's going to stay going green, I'm going to have to start getting these laps back the hard way. And that's what he's doing all alone, charging up the field as, it looks like 15.
Jumped out.
Oh, was that Gary? Oh, man, Gary jumping out of line. I think he's getting a little nervous down there of what's going on up at the front, and he's going to give himself a little bit of room. But, man, how about that 42 of Winker? He just ran along that wall like everybody below him was dragging the brake pedal.
Yeah, I don't know how he was catching that much speed, but yeah, passing on the outside there by himself. Now he's back into line there with the 3rd row back from the leader. But a lot of track position to make up there for the 42. I think Gary Sack just didn't like what he saw there and maybe got a little bit too low, and instead of trying to save it and put his truck back up into traffic, just decided to stay on the apron and let everybody else go around.
As the 6 regains controlled the lead for now, as the 71 of Connor Leach was giving him a little bit of a push. They both move back down to the bottom side, and now up there on the high side, being pushed by the 42 is the 99 of America's driver, Albert Anderson, making moves here tonight once again, trying to pick up a race win here in this season opener. He does have a teammate there with Dylan Bryant having a pretty good run, a little bit behind him, and also got DW up there, Vince Short, Chris Klein, Double O Joe Bennett, who's back to his Double O. He's no longer the Triple O. As yeah, you can really see it. I guess these pit stops are happening here pretty soon there, Mr. English. Everybody jumping on down to that bottom line that can.
Yeah, the radio's going nuts with everybody calling out their pitting. So here we go. Let's see how they can do down here on the pit lane. They got to get that thing backed on down to 60 miles an hour.
Ooh!
Oh, got one going around.
Yeah, 71 goes around, 6 coming in hot. Same thing with the 3 of Skylar Harrod as we're wrecking down there on pit road.
At the 14, D. Allen Grote got in a scrape with a couple other trucks,
Yeah, 30.
including the 88 of Tucker.
31 of Scott Milner getting involved in that there, as well as pit stops continue to commence, and I got a feeling we might be seeing some speeding penalties come out for a few of these drivers here as well.
We got at least one right now. Chuck Kiger in the 22 black flag. The only one I see so far that's been posted. Here comes another round of pit stops. Another gaggle of trucks trying to get back down here.
And Dylan Bryan, Albert Anderson, Derek Welch, Vince Short, Chris Klein, Double O Joe, Brandon Coleman, and Tom Barish all making their way on in. And oh, we got ourselves a yellow flag.
What happened there? First caution of the race happens right in the middle of green flag pit stops. That's going to throw off some cycles.
Oh no, I think Reed Sanders having a bit of an issue while trying to rejoin the track. I don't know if this is what the caution was called for. Yeah, he gets loose and spins out.
Got a meatball flag.
Way clear down there on the apron.
Something happened to that truck. He's manually disconnected now, but did have a meatball flag on the Ford machine.
I don't know, but yeah, caution flag comes out, so that's gonna cause a interesting kind of lineup here. As quite a few people stuck a lap down, others after just completing their pit stops, I think just got it done in time. So we're just gonna have to wait and see how all this plays on out. But what we do know is that the 15 of Vince Short is gonna be leading this next restart.
Let me see here. Nicholas Tucker with some ping issues. Hopefully he's able to kick that modem into gear. Tom Barish with a black flag, 55, posted by the officials. Tom Barish going to have to probably come back down and serve a penalty. Unless it was one of those weird passing under yellow things that that the admins could waive. We'll see here.
And just gonna have to wait and see what happens here as everybody gets lined up back behind that pace truck. Gonna be going back to the green flag in just a couple of laps, and imagine that here, Mr. English. We just had our first round of pit stops and everything, and we're almost at halfway.
That's gone by pretty quick here. We'll be at halfway here in what, about 10 laps, and it's moving right along. Hopefully we get another good long green flag run in. That was once we saw pit stops happening under green, I thought we might have a flag to flag race here, because when that usually happens, then you got the field all spread out, and really cool things can happen, and you can get a flag to flag super speedway race, which is, as everybody out there watching knows, if you've watched any kind of super speedway racing, you know that's pretty rare. We've seen it before, though, here in this league.
And that indeed we have. As yeah, that's pretty much it. Everybody all trying to get it all grouped back up here together, and Alfie, I did have it running, but apparently I had started it so early in the day that it didn't want to work, and I had to make sure everything was all refreshed. So hopefully everyone's paint schemes are all working here once again. Vince Short, Caleb Sisk, Gary Sack, and a whole bunch of others, I think, electing to not take their track position here and try to get as AJ Evangelista misses either coming down pit road or staying out on the track. I don't think he could decide what he was trying to do there, so he ends up taking a trip through the infield.
Henry Wyndham looked like he was going to pit, and then he ducked back out. Hopefully he got out before the commitment cone. Oh, wow. We got a ton of black flags here.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think because it was all about where that the pace car or pace truck was when they were crossing the line, because I think pit road was maybe starting to close, and 05, because he just jumped onto the brake and basically stopped there in the middle of pit road to try to avoid getting a penalty.
Yeah, I got 6, 7 black flags here right now. So they're starting to clear them one at a time here.
I think that's what that was, is when people were coming down, that pit road was closing as we're getting ready to go back to the green flag, and I think that's what caused that.
You still got Chuck Kiger, Mark Collins, Tom Barish, all with black flags still.
But again, also hard to say, because they that caution came out pretty quick during those green flag pit stops, that someone who might have gotten a speeding penalty during that quick exchange, still technically has to serve that here as the pace car comes on down and in. And here we go once again. Green flag racing in the 99 of America's Driver. Could not get going soon enough, man. He is gone as the 8 of Dylan Bryant tries to jump back into line there with him up at the front. And then it's got a little bit of a gap as the 00 of Joe Bennett and 19 of Brandon Coleman all try to work together here and slowly make their way on back up and through. And they're going to use that momentum to try to take up a line up there on the outside. The 1 of DW gets his nose kind of trimmed up just a little bit there as everyone's starting to kind of jockey and jive for whatever lane they kind of want to be in here. Henry Wyndham, Anthony Williams, and Chris Klein all up here as well. 71 Connor Leach tucking in behind the 51 of Chris Klein, 29 Philip Ellis, and the 05 of AJ Evangelista slowly making their way back on up.
Yeah, I guess Derek Welch adminning on his own here tonight is trying to clear these black flags while he's racing in a top 10 position. Probably not the easiest thing to do at 185 miles an hour.
No, definitely not an easy thing to do whatsoever. Double nickel Tom Barish trying to quickly catch up back to where this field is, and they're starting to run around big little gaps, kind of spacing out the back half of this field right now. We still do have quite a few people marked a lap down here. Meanwhile, the 99 of America's Driver bobbing and weaving across some lanes. Looks like maybe that Team All-Star going to start trying to control both lanes here as Albert jumps up in front of a charging 00 Joe Bennett. That's going to allow the 8 of Dylan Bryant to kind of hold that bottom line, but the 00 kind of sees what's going on here, and he jumps on down to the bottom.
Yeah, he took advantage of that situation, and he saw where the run was going, and it wasn't going the 8's way completely. So he went ahead and said, "I'll take that line and lead it for a while."
And this is where some of that gamesmanship starts to come into play here as we're quickly approaching that halfway point here in this race. Side by side we go, racing here at Daytona. Up 27 spots, fighting for the lead is 00 Joe Bennett, but we also have quite a few other big movers and shakers here tonight. 48 of Henry Wyndham, 2 of Joe David, up 19 spots. Philip Ellis up 20 spots. Same thing with the 05 AJ Evangelista. 14 spots made by the 26, now 15 spots of Dylan Ritchie. Even Nicholas Tucker in the 88 machine, he's got the whole field stuck in front of him here, but he's already up 17 spots.
Pretty tight side by side up there for the first 10 rows or so. Brett Winker out there, hashtag Winker Nation. Thank you for being here. Support Kevin out there. Gerardo Cabrera says, "This is not real." I'll tell you what, it's a lot cheaper than real racing.
You ain't kidding.
This ain't going to cost you, 12 grand over the weekend if somebody gets into you and retech your truck and everything.
Not only that, but a lot less severe risk of injury. Yeah, you might like twist a wrist or something the wrong way a little bit, but it'll be okay.
You're not going to die. I mean, I'm sure there's ways, but more than likely, you're probably not going to die iRacing.
Well, I mean, you'd get some of our friends like Zeth Hawley there who races in VR who might die a heat stroke with that VR strapped to his head for some of these races.
Tell you what, I love racing in VR and it feels real. It really does. It fools your mind completely. I love racing in VR. Feels real to me there, Gerardo.
As the field remains side by side here, making some good headway here towards that lap count. We took a quick ride there, and you can see we've got some driver cams on up. Was taking a ride there with one of our friendly Canadian buddies, the 71 of Connor Leach, having a pretty good run out there right now.
Interested to see what the talent level is going to be this season here in NTRL in the Truck Series Super Speedway League here. A few new drivers in there, some old names from some old leagues, and a lot of repeat guys. Looks like the 78 riding the wall out there trying to let everybody around.
And
we got into a little bit.
Ooh, yeah, Chris Jordan, he's still stuck up there. Ooh, yeah, okay, all right, we're clear. The Superman truck doing his best to keep everyone safe here tonight. But here we go once again. That 42 of Kevin Winker, what a pesky driver he is, making his way back up to the front all over again here once again. And now he's only one lap down, so he is also fighting with the 3 of Skylar Herod to get that lucky dog spot. And right now, Skylar Herrod's got it by about a truck length.
42, if he can get down there and throw some air on the spoiler of the 3, it looks like that's what he's doing. He's able to make up a little bit of ground on him. He's not able to speed himself up, but he can slow down a couple of them trucks on the inside line, and look at the momentum he's carrying.
Yeah, I think part of the reason why he's able to make up as many spots as he can here, Alan, is, that middle lane, it's tough to keep your foot in that pedal when there's really not a whole lot of room for you to really go anywhere, and you can't see in front of you. At least the 42 of Winker, he can see what's going on in front of him.
Yeah, and Skylar's doing his best to try to push that 71 that's right in front of him. So they're doing what they can to try to keep the momentum going on that middle line. But look at the 42. He tried to go outside of the one, and now he got to the wall.
Yeah, it's that middle lane. Oh, and here we go. We got a squeeze play going on. That was close to a disaster there, but everyone able to find a spot and find a hole to tuck their nose back on into. You can see just people trying to get out of line just a little bit there up at the front on that high side, trying to get whatever air they can to that engine to cool things off. Because we haven't really seen this much pushing in quite a while, and I mean everyone's racing nose to tail very, very tight here. So these engine temps are definitely starting to heat on up.
Still, the ambient temperature is still sitting at 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Track temp 133 degrees. Oh, we're wrecking in the front.
Big wreck. We got 6, 7, 8, 9, 13 plus trucks all slipping and sliding. Oh my goodness.
This is the big one. That involved half the field there.
Hey, you are not kidding there. So we go ahead and take a look back and see what caused our second caution here of the night.
The 19 was right in the middle of that as well.
Oh, this happened in that second row. Oh goodness. Jump on up to our officially sponsored, not sponsored, chopper camera. Between the two, looks like the 2 machine got loose or something.
Black and red truck looks like he came down maybe a little bit.
What it looks like is, it looks like the 2 getting into the back of the 19 with a big run, and then gets a little loose and moves down the racetrack, getting into the 00. 00 wasn't exactly, door to door with the 2. He was actually just a little bit ahead of him, which gets up into the 19, which gets the 19 around. And once when you get a truck blocking the track perpendicular to the way everybody's moving, man, that's good night for everybody else.
That was a rough one for sure. Adam Turner just sent me a message. He's not going to be able to make it, I don't think, to the race. Just got back in town, so...
Oh, yeah.
They've got some stuff going on at his house.
Let's see if we can't find a good view from somebody trying their best to make it on through this big one here.
Yeah, the 3 saw a lot of that. So did the 48. I think the 3 had probably one of the best views of it. Skylar Herod's machine.
Blaine Wilkes also had a pretty good run through the craziness as everybody's starting to make their way on down onto pit road. Let's take a look here from Skylar Herod's POV. Oh, man. Oh. Just when he thought it was over, he had about 6 more trucks hit him.
The pucker factor there was pretty intense.
And that indeed it was. A whole bunch of damaged race trucks here as we're just past the halfway point here in this race here tonight. We're going to take a quick step aside for some special words from our sponsors, but when we come back, we'll be headed right back on to the green flag. And welcome back as they all line on up side by side, ready to go back to the green flag here. Lights on the pace truck are off, which means we're getting ready to head on back to that green flag. Gonna have Albert Anderson and Joe David lining up side by side as the pace truck moves on off and down out of the way, which means it's time here once again to go green flag racing here from Daytona in this Super Speedway series from NTRL season opener as they are off and running once again. The 99 of Albert Anderson on that bottom side, getting a little bit of a helping push from the 26 of Dylan Ritchie. You got the 2 machine getting some help there as well from the 00 of Joe Bennett. Locked into a good side-by-side battle for about 4 rows while the rest of the field tries to make their way back on up and catch on up to the rest of these leaders.
I like where Jeff Ottinger's sitting right now in that 76 Ford pickup, running on the low line. He's got people in front of him, people behind him. He can see the leaders. He's within striking distance, but he's just kind of hanging out back there. That's a good spot to be. You got an escape path if you need one in case stuff gets ugly up in the front once again. Just past halfway here.
And so still plenty of time for these drivers, but it's slowly starting to tick away here as we got about 30 or so laps left here tonight. Again, another big run there from the inside row and Albert Anderson with Dylan Ritchie and 00 Joe Bennett up on that high side, not giving up the fight just yet. He does have a little bit of help from the 19 of Brandon Coleman. We've seen Connor Leach, Caleb Sisk, and even Gary Sack having some pretty good runs here tonight, trying to find a way to pick up the race win here.
Gary Sack, very consistent here tonight, 7th place right now, and that's exactly where he started at. So holding that position, staying on that low line, right on the bumper of the truck in front of him there, knocking on the 71's tailgate. That's Connor Leach.
Ooh!
Oh, 00
Big
Joe.
checkup, and that's going to cause a big one again.
Another huge wreck. Oh, man. The truck's down the infield. Gary Sack, one of them.
Yeah, just slipping and sliding everywhere here as we go ahead and watch kind of what happened here once again. And this one happening all the way up there, up at the front. Let's head up to the No Lies chopper camera so we can kind of see what happened here. Oh, man. Kind of same situation, looks like. Oh, or is that the yellow from earlier? That might have been the yellow from earlier. If it's not, that is a very similar caution. And I
heard Coleman key up on the radio and tell 00 Joe that, hey man, you weren't clear. Difference of
well, yeah. All right. So Coleman jumps on down to the bottom row in front of Albert, and the 00 was trying to follow him on down. The problem is the 19 took a wave of momentum with him as the 00 was coming back down, and that sent the 00 sideways. 19 doing his best down there on that transition apron, and gets into a little bit of a spot of bother, and then the big field checkup, and then everything kind of going to the wind there. Oh man, even your buddy Ottinger, oh man, he was in a good spot until he wasn't, and he gets turned sideways and hit pretty hard.
I thought he was in a good spot there to escape.
Oh man, he just gets sandwiched between the 15. Oh man. Oh man.
Well, the look on Gary Sack's face in the middle of that wreck said it all to me when he had his hands full on the wheel. Because at that point, you pretty much take the steering wheel off the truck because whatever's happening in that big gaggle of trucks is going to happen. Thank you, Vigilante Racing Network, for joining us out there. Lori out there cheering for her other man, Albert Anderson. I guess like an unspoken thing. Well, I guess it's a spoken thing,
Oh, it's all spoken. I think it's just no one's quite sure what it is.
Yeah. It's just a mutual admiration thing, I think. They're always flirting around with each other on here. It's fun. You can catch Vigilante Racing League every Wednesday night here on AAA Broadcasting. They follow the NASCAR schedule, so you always know where they're going to be racing at. Got COTA coming up, so. Well, no, they're racing. Yeah,
they're at COTA. Yeah, we missed. We missed Bristol.
Oh, that's right. The power outage and stuff up there.
Yeah, crazy. But we got a giant ice storm. Just this weekend, and oh man.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's not been fun this year.
I imagine so. You've had all kinds of issues up there. Nick Biddy joining us over there in the YouTube chat as well. Yeah, Lori wants Albert Anderson to bring that trophy home. Caleb Sisk up there currently leading this thing. Let's start side by side with Albert. We'll get this thing back green. We'll probably be back green with what, about
close to 25 to go, yeah.
Something like that. Well, as you mentioned, we do have a few green-white checker opportunities here, VRL, or not VRL, NTRL. Nub Thumbs Racing League. I think they do 3 attempts. At least they have in past seasons. We'll find out here towards the end if they're used.
And of course, I mean, really, nobody never minds going into some bonus racing time. That's
I
always
don't mind overtime.
It's always some fun.
Freight train out there from Numb Thumbs Trucking saying, let's go Welch, bring it home, baby. Hashtag NTG Trucking. As you saw there during the promo, Numb Thumbs Gaming has their own virtual trucking company over there, American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator 2. Definitely go check it out. It's a fun thing. I hadn't been on there in a while, but I'm still in the company. I just hadn't drove much lately. It's been pretty busy. I
know. We're both in the Airway company too.
Yeah,
we've been busy with other flights.
Yeah. But definitely a fun group of guys to hang out with over there. Convoys all the time.
Yeah, I think they had a couple here this weekend, and looked like everyone was having a great time.
Faux show.
But nonetheless, here we go. Lights on the pace car are off, so we get locked in to go back side by side racing as the field rounds out of turns 3 and 4. Caleb Sisk and Albert Anderson are gonna lead the charge. Joe David, 19, Brandon Coleman, 71, Connor Leach, 1 of DW. You got the 63 of Dave Holmberg, Chris Klein, Dylan Ritchie, and Nicholas Tucker all on up there as well as they enter that Geico restart zone. And here we go. Green flag racing here once again in the 6, off to a hot start here, leaving the 2 kind of in the dust behind them. That's going to allow that top side with Albert Anderson and Brandon Coleman to tag team on up here and possibly pick up some momentum as the 2 slowly makes his way back up to that back bumper of the 6 machine. Everybody's still locked into some side-by-side 26 laps left to go here as the field puts that pedal to the metal, and we slowly make our way back on up to speed of close to 190 miles an hour and over.
And don't look now, but the 42 is back on the lead lap. Kevin Winker is a man on a mission. Look at that 42 to be passing a bunch of trucks if he can here. Now that he's back on the lead lap.
Well, do you think now he might actually use a little bit of caution here as we're going slipping and sliding there kind of right around him. It's 3 wide, AJ Evangelista in front of all the chaos, but you got Tom Barish in the middle, 3 wide, got 1 up against the wall. Dave Holmberg's now going 3 wide. Yeah, we got the whole mix of everybody just trying to get back on up to speed. But, you know, I could understand why Winker was driving so aggressively in the good sense of trying to get those laps back. But now that he's got it back, he doesn't have a fast repair yet, fast repair left.
Anymore, yeah.
So, man, he's got to keep care of that thing. As,
the two!
Down to the infield grass. Oh, no. Oh, does a great job keeping that nose pointed straight. He's losing a ton of positions, but that could have been a whole lot worse.
But he's still going to have the draft here. So the two of Joe David, yeah, he restarted way at, what, 4th place, something like that. So, yeah, he's gonna be drafting with a few guys back here, though. But golly, yeah, ton of lost positions.
And there he goes. He's shooting up to the high side there, trying to get out in front of, looks like the 20 machine, slowly making their way back up. Excuse me, that's the 21 of Blaine Wilkes.
He ain't really trying to zigzag back and forth to try to make something happen. That's hindering Wyndham. Trying to go where the momentum is, where the gaps are, trying to set that truck where it needs to be for some late race track position.
And I mentioned it here earlier in the broadcast, as everyone was kind of leaving some friendly space and all that. I expect that to go away here pretty soon, as we got about 23 laps left to go. But man, that when they're too wide like they are up at the front right now, there's just enough room. You could sneak a truck up through there, and we've seen what the turbo tunnel can do.
That's exactly right. We've seen that in previous seasons where if there is a gap left, somebody's going to take advantage and they're going to fly up through the middle until somebody shuts them down. But as you said, you know, we're now, you know, less than 23 to go. So we're now in the pit window. If anybody's feeling froggy and they have a teammate with them and they think they can make it, I mean, is there any advantage to coming down and getting gas now, or do you not want to do that under any circumstances under green?
Man, that's an interesting call, because everybody will have to come down at least once more, and we've got kind of a whole difference of pit stop cycles here. We got some lap 36s, some lap 42s. That's pretty much where everybody is at. Benjamin McKinnon's still down there on pit road trying to get his truck all fixed up the old-fashioned way with those wrenches and hammers and duct tape. But man, that's a tough call. Well, I mean, if you're the all-star race team, you all might as well come down, because you definitely have numbers to
Right.
work well together here. But even if you got, you know, a 3-car team, you could come down here, short pit it, and then you're outside of all what could be some crazy chaos, and B, you know, if a yellow flag does come out after you guys pit, you guys can get to stay out and get some of that track position. So it's a roll of the dice for sure, but I'm sure there's someone willing to take it.
And if you add in possible green-white checker laps as well for fuel, you may want to wait a few more laps here just to make sure you got good coverage in case we do go to 3 green-white checkers. Those are a bunch of extra laps.
And you ain't kidding. Oh, and speaking of which, there goes the 19 up against the outside wall. He's turned around. There we go. There's the caution, and everyone's questionable woes are now gone as everyone's trying to scatter. Double O Joe getting snagged up in it. Oh, man.
Go. Anthony Williams in the 5 had a bad push or something there. Caught up with the 48 of Wyndham. It just dominoed after that, even into the second pack.
Man, you ain't kidding. Once again, Brandon Coleman and Double O Joe Bennett kind of getting snagged up into this one. But this one started with the 19. Let's go ahead and see what happened. Oh, he drifted down out of the bottom lane down onto the apron and then started to come back up. Problem is, somebody was already there. That's the 71 Connor Leach. As the 19 gets up into the 48, both of them get all tangled and mangled. You got the 51 going around, getting into some contact there. Looks like the 14 as the 19 continues to spin out there. Yeah, Double O Joe getting snagged up in it. Dylan Bryant was just a little slow going through.
It's an innocent bystander.
Yeah, Tristan Cotton getting caught up into it. Let's see how he gets spun out here. As this is the chase pack making their way back on up to the main pack, and you can just see everybody just trying to check up. Oh, the 5 had the brakes locked up and everything, just couldn't stay out of the 7.
He tried everything he could to get that thing back down. Welcome Adam Strom, our buddy up in Minnesota. Saying howdy fellas. Good to have Sunday night racing back. Good to see you again there, buddy. And this Nicole Scafidi out there pulling for Winker as well in the 42, who has made his way back up to 7th place, by the way, after being a couple of laps down. Very impressive run for the defending NTRL Super Speedway champion.
As everybody making what is presumably the final pit stops here of the race, we're just going to have to wait and see if this thing goes into how many bonus times that it can. I think everyone should be good, though.
Josh Williams, black flag. And then, the rest of the black flags of Dylan Bryant, Brandon Coleman, Joe Bennett, those are all meatball flags for damage. But Josh Williams, I think, with a speeding penalty or something there.
And Nick Biddy saying he's missing his conspiracy theories. He needs some of those.
I know, man.
Man, I don't have any good ones. I know Turner's the one that's got all the good ones.
That's his bag, man. He's. Well, we can come up with one for Adam. We could just say instead of on vacation down in San Antonio, we can just say he was in county for cutting the tops off of parking meters.
Doesn't he know that they're all like automatic now? You got to go to like a pay station, and like there ain't no like quarter meter maids anymore. They just look for the little ticket in your window, and then if you don't got one, then you get one on the outside of your window.
They still have some in downtown Shreveport that are coin operated. I think they still have some. Huh. No, Nick, he's going to be back. He was out of town for a few days, and he just got back into town, and so he's dealing with a bunch of stuff at the house and unloading the truck and all that kind of stuff. So he just got back. So he will be here this season. He's just not here tonight.
And speaking of this season, it's looking like a fantastic up and coming season here for the Super Speedway. But not only that, but we return to the next gen cars here starting up tomorrow night for the Num Thumbs Racing League. So we're coming on back to 3 nights of racing a week here, and should be a wonderful time.
Next gen season, last season was a lot of fun to watch, and as much as we complained about that car when it first came out, the guys have adapted and overcome any problems they had with them, and they actually put together a pretty good, entertaining schedule last season. So I'm expecting the same thing this time around. So catch that tomorrow night. We'll be running every Monday.
Yeah, it'll be the same bat time, same bat channel there.
Yeah, Nick Biddy said he's stuck up in Arkansas right now.
Yeah, we know a few guys that are stuck up in Arkansas. seems like one of those places, once when you go there, you almost never leave.
Yeah, pretty country, that's for sure.
Yeah, indeed it is. As the pace truck comes on down and out of the way, we go back to green flag racing here once again with 16 laps left to go, with the 6 of Caleb Sisk out in front of the 99 of America's driver Albert Anderson, giving him a big old shove. 71 of Connor Leach, one of our buddy Canadians, trying to make his way on back up and through here as well. You got the 88 of Nicholas Tucker making some noise here tonight. You got the 1 of DW slowly moving his way on up. You also got that 76 Jeff Ottinger starting to make a little bit of a comeback after getting caught up in one of those cautions. He's getting some help in a big shove to the back bumper there.
Yeah, it's go time now. These guys can see the light at the end of the tunnel here. They know this race is winding down, but the aggression level is kind of ramping up here. It's time to start using that side draft. It's time to start pulling all the tricks out of the bag. Looks like Josh Williams in the 59 coming on down to the pit lane. Probably serve that penalty.
Yeah,
Yep, that's what he's doing, clearing that black.
Doing their best to get back on up here to whatever position that they can get. How about that double nickel of our buddy Tom Barish making his way on up through some of this chaos, up 13 spots on the day. Even got just everybody making up whatever spots that they can right now, trying to close in on a good finish here tonight.
Tom involved in one of those early accidents there, but great recovery by him.
Oh, there we go.
88.
Oh, he got up to the outside. Yeah, he was up on the outside. Thought he might have had a space in the back. Problem is, he really didn't, and we're now 3 wide. Oh, man, Jeff Ottinger stuck in the middle. Oh, 3 wide, 4 wide. Oh, and we got parts flying.
63, 76, 89. Everybody in a big old pile up here. My goodness. What a mess. This is super speedway racing, folks. This is what happens. And Jeff Ottinger did about 1.5 miles in reverse on the outside wall there.
Yeah, you ain't kidding here as we go ahead and jump up to the chopper camera and see what happened. The 76 there in the middle. Oh, just started drifting up the track, but the 05 of AJ Evangelista was there. And after that big checkup, and oh man, that 63, he got a little bit of airtime, the Harley Davidson machine, and oh, he probably experienced about 10.5 G's on that one.
Yeah, that was rough there. Right before all that happened, you know, the 88 had that scary kind of move from the outside down the track, and I don't know if this was even related to that. I know it happened. The big wreck happened right after that. I don't know if it was for some checkups and guys kind of trying to scramble for position and going 3 wide all over the track. But my goodness, just mayhem right there in the middle of the pack. Nick Biddy stuck in Jonesboro. So Delta says he can't leave till Wednesday. Oh man. I think if he's a Georgia boy, I think he's trying to get back home to South Georgia.
And what else? He says Delta says. Now is that the airline or is that the plumbing and faucets and stuff?
Or he's one of the operators, Delta Force operators.
Maybe. There's so many Deltas, man.
Yeah. Maybe a sorority, I don't know. Or fraternity, I mean.
Yeah. I did, not necessarily I can't say a conspiracy theory here, but I did almost run over a protester. Oh, the airline, that's pretty cool. I did almost run over a protester the other day in my tractor trailer.
Big rig?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was a fun time.
What the hell were they protesting?
Oh, it was one of those foreign policy ones.
Oh, okay.
And they were...
Was it just one guy?
No, there was a few. I guess they like chained themselves up at an entrance and inside of a car, and it was causing a whole situation. It was
Jeez.
I don't know. You may have heard of the company of course now I can't Elbit Systems.
No.
They do a lot of electronics for military manufacturing stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And are known to deal stuff with some of those foreign nations that are currently in the middle of a situation.
Gotcha.
On the other side, though, there was a bush plant across the street, so it was kind of tough to tell.
Find something better to do. I mean, golly, find a better way to spend your time. Yeah, Brett, we saw that Winker was able to avoid the crap show there. Yeah, the two, it has been fast there, Nick, and he's found himself in the middle of a couple of ordeals out there, but got a brand new truck now, starting inside row number 2 here once we get back going.
Yeah, they're trying their best to pick up a race win to start off the season, and man, we said start the season off strong, and that's the way to do it. I mean, and don't get us wrong, when we say start off strong, you don't necessarily even need to get a podium here. Even just slapping yourself up into a top 15, a top 10, that's pretty good.
Yeah, long season. I mean, pick up some points next week. I mean, we've got some racing to do here this season. Anthony likes your foreign policy explanation there. He's like,
yeah,
probably the best wording there. Very politically correct. Very. And Lori likes situations because you use that now and then. We like that.
Yeah, it's if I ever want to run for president, I gotta keep my mouth shut.
There's too many skeletons. You could never do it.
You're probably right.
None of us could. We've all said things that you could never be president because they take everything we've said. Oh, we've got hundreds of hours of footage here. They'd pick it all apart and say, "Well, this person's a nut. That person's a nut." They're probably right, but
well, yeah. Oh, totally. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers can be a vice president, then why can't I be?
Of what?
We'll talk about it off stream.
Players Union?
As we get ready to get up and running here once again with the pace truck moving off down and out of the way. Here we go with the 6 and the 99 off running here again. Side by side as they come back across that start-finish line with 10 laps left to go. It is absolutely crunch time here as they run off side by side. The one of DW hanging on with the main runaway group here right now. The rest of the field slowly getting back up to speed, trying to catch on up. Even the 55 of Tom Barish is starting to get up there towards the front here as well. Slowly starting to make their moves and make their way on up. And remember that gap I was saying that was there in the middle? That's slowly starting to come back down. You can see people trying to pinch on down and get whatever side draft or umbrella factor that they can.
This is super speedway racing at its best. Anybody who's on the lead lap here has a chance to win this race. We've seen so many things happen coming out of the last couple of turns here at these super speedways, and you can go from 14th and take the win here. So everybody's going to be battling for every spot.
Oh, as we got one going sideways down onto the apron. Oh, save it, buddy, save it. Oh, he is indeed able to save it. The 26 of Dylan Ritchie. Man, he was riding that thing like it was a wild Bronco and able to settle it back on down. Thankfully, people were giving him a little bit of room down on that apron there to get everything all settled away there too. So And we are still green flag racing, and that could have been probably our biggest one yet of the night.
Yeah, Caleb Sisk down there, just a way to handle that 6 machine, keeping it straight. Oh, the 2 got bumped from behind by Sisk. Oh, now the 55 is sideways. Oh, they're going to go back up into traffic. This is going to be a yellow, I think.
And they're still fighting it sideways. The 2-0 slides almost to a complete stop as Ottinger tries to mosey his way on around as we're still green. Oh, no, there goes Albert hard up into the outside wall. He's lost his steer, and he's just trying to get down off of the racetrack. Still green flag racing as everyone's nose still pointed in the right direction.
88 got into the outside wall. He's very, very slow. Everybody checked up behind him. Everybody's spread way out now. Still under green. Several wrecks happened there, but it wasn't enough for iRacing to throw the caution.
And this is where WWE says, welcome to the cage match as bits and pieces go flying. We are still green flag racing with about 7 laps to go, and no quarter is given as they race side by side, battling for this race lead. The 6 and the 71 going at it side by side, and look who's up there as well. 42 of Kevin Winker.
You thought I was bad about it. Here comes the bump, smashing into a tailgate. Some of these guys with their bump drafting, very rough on the tailgates of some of these trucks.
Thankfully, these trucks are very brick-like and they are very square, so those bumpers match up with those rear bumpers quite easily here as that one pushes the 71-42, pushing the 6 as we remain side by side here with 6 laps left to go. We got Skylar Herod, Mark Collins, and Chris Jordan on up here, as well as a few others like Scott Milner. We got Grote, we got Richie still just hanging on to some of that draft while the rest of the field tries to pick up their pieces from the infield. You got the 55 and the 2 working as best together as they can. They are going to need a caution. There's a few drivers hoping that a caution does come on out as the bottom line gets another run here with the 2 and the 6 working well together. 71 trying to keep her steady with the 1 giving her a big push.
Connor Leach in that 71 has a great pusher behind him and Derek Welch, but the 42 and the 6 working very well together on the inside, very evenly matched here. Gotta see what's going to happen coming out of turn 4. The outside line kind of gets back a little bit of momentum here, but man, what a pusher in the 42. Look at how he pushes the 6 out there.
And just good timing on it, too. He doesn't really get up to that back bumper until they're almost at the exit of the corner, and that's when he really locks it in to give the best straightaway speed that he can to that bottom line. Doing a fantastic job there, and the 1 as well locking into that 71's back bumper. Everybody behind him are just kind of jockeying around trying to figure out, all right, this lane is really not moving anywhere, but there's a little bit of space here, there's a little bit of space there. If this guy does that, they're all playing that checkers and chess game all in their heads a million times a second.
And look, Collins right there in the 23, Mac, he's teammates with Derek Welch, so it doesn't really help his team to push as hard as he can on the 42. He's wanting to help his friend there on the outside lane, but I think once these guys get to like a couple to go, I think teammates kind of go out the window, don't they? I mean, you're in it for yourself at that point.
Well, not only that, but if you're the 23, you want to push that front line super clear of that high line, so then he could jump up to the high line and possibly make a run for the win himself. So you're right. It's when we get down, especially to the 1 to go, that's where there's no such things as teammates anymore. It's just who's willing to push who. But man, it's going to come on down to it here. The field's going to get all looped back around here, getting caught up. lap car. The 6 shoots up high. Oh, the 42 takes advantage. He's sneaking on down low, but no one is there to push the 42 as the 6 gets a big run and a big push from the 71.
Here comes Collins. He'll pick up the back bumper of the 42, but the damage is kind of done there. They're back to the running order that they were in. 71 on the outside in the lead, and the 6 on the lead in the inside line there. My goodness, that kind of freaked me out when the 19 was right in the middle of the track. Coleman didn't. He just came over the radio and said, "Hey, I didn't realize you guys were coming that quick."
And coming quick they were at 195 miles per hour down that straightaway as they continue to battle side by side. 2 laps left to go. Only a few hundred more feet to go for a caution to come out if it is, but it does not look like we will see one here as we're 3 wide behind the main couple of leaders up here, and it looks like it's going to work its way on up to the front as the white flag waves. This is it. We're racing this one on out, and look who's helping out that charge up there on that outside line. It's the 99 of America's driver as they go 3 wide, 4 wide, 1 up into the outside wall. Albert Anderson just trying to get up to the front to possibly get a lap back here just so that timing tower doesn't show him a lap down. Meanwhile, though, we're still side by side, locked into a great battle here with the 6 and the 71, 42 and the 1, doing whatever job that they can to push their potential champion here to a win as they make their way on out of turns 3 and 4. Here we go. It's a drag race on the high side, getting a big run. The 1 machine to the 71, who picks up the race win. We got sideways across the line, but Connor Leach is your race winner here tonight with Caleb Sisk and Derek Welch rounding out your podium.
And what a recovery by Kevin Winker in the 42. Started in 4th, finished in 4th after, I think he was 2 laps down at one point after involvement in an early accident. He blew his engine. That's what happened.
Yeah.
But wow, what a recovery by the 42. But Connor Leach, well-deserved. Him and Caleb ran up there side by side so much and just ran each other cleanly. Both had great pushers behind them. What a great finish. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, that indeed it was, as the 71 goes ahead and gets all the celebrations up and underway. We're going to take just a quick moment aside. We still have one more advertisement for a company we'd like to say a big thank you for, and when we come back, we'll have the driver interviews. And welcome back. Let's get these driver interviews started off with the commander-in-chief over here, but not only that, your third-place podium finisher here tonight, and that is the one-legged wonder of Mr. Derek Welch, picking up a third place here tonight, up 14 spots. Derek, congratulations. A pretty good start to the season opener.
Yeah, I take it. I was thinking about trying to make a move on Connor right there, but I had his teammates all around me, so I said, "I'll just finish in third, take the podium, and live another day.
Well, I mean, for this many trucks to be out here, and for this to be a super speedway race, I mean, for the number of cautions y'all had, not a bad show, man. It was a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, we had a couple of big wrecks, but it's not like it was back to back to back like you see in real life NASCAR and stuff. This was a lot of fun to watch. I hope everybody out there really enjoyed it. But talk a little bit, Derek, about not only how you got to third place out there and kicked ass all the way from 17th, but talk a little bit about the upcoming season.
Well, today was just I had a bad qualifying, and it was just being patient. Normally, I'm not patient. My teammates always get on to me, say, "You always want to go straight to the front of these super speedways." I said, "Well, yeah, I feel more comfortable." But it seemed like today all the wrecks was going on in front. But I got lucky in a few wrecks and worked my way up there. And yeah, it's like this on a lot of leads. I mean, you get a lot of new guys. We got a few new guys out here. Get 35, 40 trucks on the field. Some people don't know each other and antsy to get the season started. I mean, we've been off for 2 months now, so a lot of guys are antsy, ready to get back into things, and that's what I think that's what you're seeing tonight and the cautions we had. But I mean, it was a good start all in all, and the season coming up, man, I'm really excited about it. We're switching to the trucks this season, and these trucks always give a good showing. On these super speedways, great pushing, easy to push, easy to draft. Big holes open up in the draft, and they're a lot of fun in these super speedways, and I'm looking forward to it. Got a bunch of great guys here. Got a lot of fast guys in this league this year. Sisk and Connor and a few other Albert and a lot of fast guys, and you're gonna see them. You're gonna see them. Guys like Caleb and Connor excel at these non-super speedway tracks. So hopefully I can keep up there with them. I'm trying my best this season. It's time for me to win a championship. So I got 2 trophies by my name, and that's Zach Miller. Zach Miller's trying to get his 3rd trophy beside his name. So I got to get a 3rd trophy beside my name. So I'm gonna try to get this championship this season. Hopefully I can pull it off.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the 3rd place finish here for you. Before we let you go here, Derek, do you got any final shout-outs or anything like that?
Yeah, shout out to I'm about to say NTG, but NTRL, the whole racing league. I shut down None Thumbs Gaming, as a lot of people know, but I kept the NTRL, and it's been a hell of a ride for this iRacing league, and shout out all the sponsors. Sim Gear Central putting out another button box for the champion this year for both leagues. Track Bar Media, DEP always been a great supporter of ours, and Davidson Builders always been a great supporter as well. And I see Miss Lori Vault in the chat there too. She's Miss VRL, and we're looking forward for another VRL versus NTRL race coming up.
We can't wait for that too. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do it every Halloween. Me and Lori are gonna get together sometime this year and try to get another one planned. So we had tons of fun last time, so we're looking forward to doing it again.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the 3rd place finish here tonight for the number 1 of Mr. DW, man. Congratulations. Good way to get the season started, and good luck the rest of the way here, buddy.
Later.
And with that, we'll move on up to tonight's 2nd place finisher, and that is going to be the 6 of Caleb Sisk, getting perfect name for a number combo there. That's fantastic, but a hell of a job up there, moving on up into 2nd, up pretty much at the front all race long here there, Caleb. Man, congratulations on a good way to start off the season.
Oh, thank you. That was a lot of fun. That's why we're here.
Well, it's going to be a fun season, especially if we see some great pushing action like what we saw here tonight. You and Connor Leach side by side, y'all both had great pushers behind you, and you guys knew how to kind of follow the runs and stuff and get up through traffic. Next week, iRacing Super Speedway kind of a wild card out there. We're going to see some amazing, incredible speeds out there. What's the difference between like what you guys run tonight and then this fictional 3-mile paperclip you're going to run next week?
I have to be honest. I have never in my life turned a lap there, so
It's terrifying.
well, I'm here for fun, so that sounds awesome. I probably won't buy it until next Sunday, and we'll figure it out as we go.
Man, that sounds like one.
You're going to have a blast.
It definitely, that's one heck of a plan. We know another driver who has been known to do that from time to time, and they pull out wins everywhere. But here tonight, man, you did a great job. What did it take for you to really stay up at the front as long as you guys did? I mean, it looked like once you kind of got up into that top 5, you really just never let it go.
Yeah, we just good communication. That was pretty key. And then, like you said earlier, managing runs. It got a little dicey, and we really started racing Albert. That was a lot of fun. I don't think he cared for it too much, but I was having a blast. I mean, it was so much fun. I do want to take a moment and thank Kevin Winker for pushing me there at the end, and Joe David, or I think it's Joe Davidi or David.
It's David.
Yeah, he was a great pusher all night. He gave me a ton of help. I mean, I got crazy sideways one time when we had a weird checkup. I mean, I'm not mad at anybody. It was so much fun. Everybody's just pushing, trying to get where they got to go, and it kind of worked out. So super thankful for that. I also want to thank my teammates, Connor, Skyler, and Alan Grote, skunkworksgraphics.com. Good opening night, and can't wait for tomorrow night as well in the next gens.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the second place finish here tonight for Mr. Caleb Sisk, man. Great way to get the season going, and good luck the rest of the way here, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
And with that, we move on up to tonight's race winner and top step of the podium, and it's one of our friendly Canadian buddies. It's the 71 of Mr. Connor Leach driving on home to victory lane, man. Congratulations, you picked yourself up a win with a drag race.
Yeah, that was drag race to the finish. I mean, it's kind of that top line's a little bit dominant coming through the tri-oval, but then by the time you get to turn 1, if it weren't the last lap, by the time you get to turn 1, your insides kind of starts to prevail a little bit. But yeah, no, it was a good finish. We had myself and Caleb teammates up there at the front. We're just, let's keep it side by side, and hopefully they don't send it 3 wide on the outside of us. And I thought Derek was gonna. I was waiting for it, and I'd probably get hung out there, but he didn't. He stuck with me, and we ended up getting him on the podium and a couple of Skunkworks Graphics cars up there. It's too bad I picked the wrong car, so I didn't have Alan's wrap he put on from Skunkworks Graphics, big Canadian flag on there like usual, but we'll have that out next week.
I expect nothing less. I better see a big maple leaf on that car, or you might have your citizenship revoked up there in British Columbia, there, buddy. But
they might have to do that if I forget next time.
Well, it was great to see you run out there. We know you're one hell of a race car driver, and we know that super speedway racing is just a completely different animal from technical racing, which you're so good at as well. This season, there's a couple of wild card tracks that are thrown in there in the schedule. I think I saw Indy in there, Vegas, and Atlanta. Well, it's the new Atlanta, so it's basically super speed.
Yeah, in Indy, I'm looking forward to. Vegas, the 1.5 mile tracks, I'm okay at. I seem to never find victory lane too often at the 1.5 miles, but no, the Indy, I like that track. When it came on the schedule, I was like, oh, sweet. I mean, it is a drafting track still, so it is kind of like a super speedway, but you do got to slow down in the corners.
Yeah, man. Well, again, you did one heck of an awesome job here tonight, and it shows because you picked up the race win. Before we let you go, you got any final shout-outs or anything like that?
I just shout out to the teammates. We got Caleb up there on the podium as well, and then Skyler, he wasn't too far back. I think he finished 5th, and then Alan had an issue. He had incident points, and it's stuff. He made it through so many wrecks that weren't his fault, and just picked up too many incidents because of it, and that's just, I guess, the nature of the beast. Yeah, Skunkworks Graphics, we'll have his paint scheme on the car next week.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations to Mr. Connor Leach, your race winner here in the season opener at Daytona for the Numb Thumbs Racing League Super Speedway Series, man. Congratulations, and good luck the rest of the season here, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. We'll hope to see you again up here shortly.
And with that, we close down all the interviews for the evening, and we had ourselves one fine Sunday evening here, Mr. English. Some great super speedway racing as always.
Yeah, that was a great one. Great one to start the season off with all the highs and lows. Still had 15 trucks finish on the lead lap there, even after the several big ones that we had out there here tonight at Daytona. But yeah, great entertaining race, great crowd out there in the YouTube channel. Had a lot of fun tonight.
And that we did. As we go ahead and wind things down here from Daytona and tell everybody where their favorite driver ended up finishing here for tonight. Getting us started is that 71 of Connor Leach picking up your race win. We got Caleb Sisk right there, drag racing behind him to pick up second. DW with the fantastic push at the end to bring home the third place on that podium. 42 of Kevin Winker, man, being in fourth and starting in fourth doesn't really tell the story about for the box score there for Kevin after going 2 laps down and fighting his way on back. Great finish there for Kevin. Skylar Harrod there in the 3, rounding out your top 5. Mark Collins, the Mac Daddy, with a great run here tonight, able to get a 6th place finish. 26 of Dylan Ritchie is going to be your hard charger of the race, up 20 spots here in 7th, so a great run from Dylan. Scott Milner in the 31 machine having a pretty good run here at the end, finishing in 8th. Chris Jordan having a great run too, finishing in 9th. With Mr. Joe David in the 2 machine, up 15 spots on the day, rounding out your field's top 10. Then we move on to Tom Barish in the double nickel. We saw him up at the front there late, thought he had a chance to pick up the win, but finishes in 11th. Let's see here. We also got, as I'm losing my space here, got the 76 of Jeff Ottinger up there as well, finishing in 12th. 13th will go to Mr. Vincent Short in the fake 11 actual 15. And then you got Mr. Alan Grote in the 14, picking up 14th spot here tonight. So pretty good run there for him. Philip Ellis, a little bit of a rough go of it, but able to find his way up there into the top 15 here tonight. Then you got Mr. James Lee in the 54, moving up to 16th. Albert Anderson, unfortunate there for him, kind of towards the end, gets caught up in some craziness, and no caution flag comes on out, but he finds his way home in 17th. 18th gonna go to Miss Crystal Villano. I'm assuming assuming it's Villano. If it's incorrect, just let us know. We'll definitely get it corrected. But she's picking up 18th. 19th will go to the 59 of Mr. Josh Williams, and the 7 of the Trister, Mr. Tristan Cotton, rounding out your field's top. Excuse me, not Tristan. It's actually Mr. Chris Klein picking up the top 20 spot.
Tristan Cotton, though, will pick up a 21st in that number 7 machine after starting way back in 33rd. 22nd will be Blaine Wilkes in the 21 machine, the 19 of Brandon Coleman. Saw him a lot out there today and wasn't always going straight in a straight line there. Brandon got caught up in several wrecks there. He'll finish 23rd. 24th will be Chuck Kiger in the 22. The 48 of Henry Wyndham will finish in 25th place. 26 will be Nicholas Tucker in the 88. The 5 of Anthony Williams will finish in 27th after starting in 15th place. Gary Sack III in the 89 truck will finish in 28th. 29th, Dave Holmberg in the 63. The 05 of AJ Evangelista finishes right about where he started, right there in 30th place. 31st will be Dylan Bryant in the 8. Disappointing night for the 8 machine. I know he wanted that Pepsi machine way up closer to where he started there. Same with 00 Joe Bennett. Just a disappointing night there, involved in a couple of incidents there. Down 20 laps in 32nd. 33rd place, Benjamin McKinnon in the 15. The 4 of Reed Sanders looks like he finished in 34th place. Tim Stubblefield either starting park tonight or he had something going on here tonight. So Tim will round out your field, 35th.
And that is your field here tonight from Daytona. As always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you get alerted every single time that we go live. And of course, if you do enjoy it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button so that way we can continue to have a fantastic community that keep on growing, man. It's absolutely fantastic. Also have to say a huge thank you to the proud sponsors of the NTRL, such as Davidson Builders, DEP Graphics, Sim Gear Central, Trek Bar Media, and Beadles Custom Car Carriers. Thank you all for your fantastic support here, being a part of the NTRL family, and it's been great. And thank you for your continued support. And that's going to do it for us here tonight from Daytona. Don't you worry, though. We're back in action here tomorrow night with the season opener for the Num Thumbs Racing League Next Gen Series coming on up tomorrow night. They're going to be taking on Indianapolis for a season opener. So that's going to be interesting. A tough task for these drivers to open up the season with. So should be a good show for that. But until then, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner, who's in county. We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.